She stood there on my freshly mowed lawn, flute of champagne, raised high, acting like she was the queen of community harmony harpist in the background playing some soft snoozy tune. But you know what? That lawn wasn't hers. It was mine. 15 minutes earlier, I'd just collapsed into bed after a brutal 12-hour trauma shift, hoping for a few hours of peace. Instead, I woke up to my property hijacked white folding chairs, all lined up like a wedding table set, with real silverware glinting in the morning sun, and Karen, our self-declared HOA monarch, holding court like she'd just been coronated by the governor. I watched her from my porch, still in scrubs, heart pounding with a weird mix of disbelief and rage. And right then I made a quiet vow she wanted elegance. She was about to get soaked. My name's Ethan, and I've done my best for years to dodge neighborhood drama. I'm a trauma nurse, work nights keep to myself, don't have the patience for HOA meetings or wine-fueled gossip fests. My house is simple, my yard's my sanctuary, manicured neat, the kind of symmetry you only get from someone who needs control somewhere in their life. After a night filled with broken bones and worse stories, nothing resets me like staring at that green, perfect lawn sometimes with a cold beer and no interruptions. So waking up to the scent of cucumber sandwiches and that aggressive lilac perfume practically sent me back into cardiac arrest. It started with the faint sound of clinking glass, then classical music drifting on the air, then laughter, dozens of voices. For a second, I thought I was dreaming. But peeking through the blinds, I saw pastel hats, parasols, folding chairs everywhere. My yard transformed into some luxury garden party straight out of a Hallmark movie, except I hadn't agreed to play any role. At first I thought maybe I'd slept through a landscaping crew mistake, but then I saw her Karen in a lacy dress, sunglasses perched like a crown, ordering around a waiter with a fruit display. I grabbed my robe, stomped out in slippers, and called Karen. She didn't turn. Louder, Karen. She finally glanced over her shoulder with that half smile, the kind you give a disobedient kid who's missing the point. Oh, Ethan, you're up. Good. We're using your lawn for the spring welcome brunch. Better lighting than mine. I left a note. I blinked. A note. She plucked a yellow post-it from a shrub near my driveway. It read, "Yard for HOA brunch, thanks, smiley face Karen." You taped a post-it to my bush, I said, trying to decide if I was still asleep. That's not permission. She just waved her hand. Oh, don't be dramatic. It's one morning. The board voted, and besides, your grass is so symmetrical. I mean that as a compliment. I could feel my blood pressure rising. You can't just take someone's property. She whipped out a clipboard. Technically, Section 14B of the bylaws says common zones can be voted on for public events. I snapped I didn't consent. This is trespassing. For a split second, her smile faded. Then it came back stronger. Come have a mimosa, Ethan. The croissants are delightful. Don't worry, we'll clean up. I looked at the white plastic chairs sinking into my turf, the scuffed grass from a dragged cooler, the caterer pounding tent stakes by my new flower bed. And I was just supposed to eat a croissant and take a selfie. Nope. I turned, went back inside. Jaw clenched, not screaming yet, but sure as hell not letting it go. She'd humiliated me, steamrolled my rights, and treated me like some intern in her HOA empire. But I had a card to play, one Karen didn't. A smart irrigation system installed last year by my friend Maya, full yard coverage, programmable, remote activated. I could rotate heads, adjust pressure, even simulate rainstorms. And today I was feeling a little stormy. I texted Maya, hypothetically, how hard to soak 30 people with synchronized sprinklers? She fired back, depends, gentle rain or full rinse cycle. I smirked. Hats must fly. Meanwhile, Karen flitted among her guests, playing White House hostess, oblivious to the thunderclouds brewing in my kitchen. More people arrived, 40, at least, spilling into my driveway, someone plugging a cord into my outdoor outlet. The harpist played a warped canon in D. Some neighbors waved at me like I'd hosted the thing, one even thanked me. I snapped photos, logged cars, damage, every trespass, just in case. But I wasn't going to the cops yet. Not yet. Around noon, the brunch hit its peak. Karen stood in the middle, tapping her glass for silence. Here's to grace, elegance, and order. That was my cue. Sitting on my couch, coffee in hand, I opened the app, hovered my thumb, and hit Activate All Zones. The yard froze, a beat of cinematic pause, then the sprinklers erupted. High-pressure streams shot across the lawn, twisting and arching like fireworks. The crowd didn't register it at first. Then the first spray hit Karen square in the back, knocking off her hat and sending her champagne flute flying. All hell broke loose. Screams, silk dresses, clinging people running for shelter. Tables flipping decorative macarons, melting into the mud. The harpist bolted mid-note, her instrument left behind to whine in the water. A neighbor slipped and belly-flopped into a puddle of cucumber water. Folding chairs, overturned umbrellas, snapped, every inch of elegance dissolved into a suburban slip-and-slide. Karen shrieked, her dress translucent mascara streaking, spinning as she yelled, "Ethan, what did you do?" I stepped outside, coffee in hand. "Oh, sorry, I meant to set it to mist, but this button's labeled Typhoon." Silly me. I waved, cool as ice. "You've ruined everything," she shrieked, shoes squelching across my porch. "Looks like you did that all on your own, Karen." My neighbor Tina across the street was filming the whole thing, grinning. "Live from the suburb game," she narrated. Karen lunged for my phone, but I slipped back inside and locked the door, watching her smear muddy foundation across the glass. Most guests fled, yelling for rides, some parking illegally. I made sure to photograph it all. In 10 minutes, my yard was a swampy battlefield, but this was just the start. Karen would try to spin it, paint me as the villain. But I documented everything, every cord, every tent stake, every footprint. I had allies. Maya called, laughing, "Tell me she got hit first." "Dead center," I said. "Now what? Now we escalate." That evening, Karen stormed over with 2 HOA board members, Jeff and Linda. They tried to sound official clipboards and matching polos. "You violated decorum and disrupted an authorized HOA function," Jeff began. "On my property," I reminded him. "It was voted on," Linda chimed in, less sure now. I pulled out my phone, photos, videos, power cords, evidence of Karen's forged documentation. "I'm also filing a trespassing report and sending all of this to my attorney." Silence. "Karen, you wouldn't sue your own HOA?" "Oh, I would," I replied. "And tomorrow I'll file for property protection. From now on, you'll need my written permission for any event." "You're bluffing. Try me." They left in silence. Next morning, I woke up to an HOA citation for unauthorized activation of lawn equipment. I sent a picture to Maya and to Dave, my neighbor, a retired attorney. Dave called, laughing. "That's not even a real citation. This'll be fun." We drafted a formal complaint to the city, and I requested a special hearing. Karen went door to door spinning her version, but the neighbors had seen the video. Some got soaked themselves, most were far more annoyed at her. Whispers started about other times she'd overstepped, using yards for staging, redirecting guests, even setting up a petting zoo on someone else's property. The hearing came. I played the security cam footage, Karen's speech, the sprinkler eruption chaos in HD. Even the HOA president, Mr. Drimple, looked stunned. "You told me this was a misunderstanding," he said to Karen. "You said Ethan activated the sprinklers without cause. It was an authorized event," she insisted. "By whom?" Karen, Jeff admitted, told us Ethan agreed. "I never agreed, I cut in. She used a Post-it taped to a bush." The room rippled with laughter. "Did you falsify documents?" Karen Drimple asked. "It was interpretation," she stammered. "You trespassed," I said. "You damaged my property, retaliated with a fake citation." The verdict: Karen formally reprimanded, stripped of her position, fined for unauthorized use of HOA resources, and personally liable for damages. Neighbors thanked me, dropped off lemon bars, offered help restoring the lawn. But Karen wasn't done. She taped a letter to my door, accused me of emotional distress, property sabotage, defamation. Threatened legal action, cited a destroyed sun hat valued at $800. I sent it to my sister Carla, a TV legal commentator and practicing attorney. She replied, "Tell her to sue, I dare her." Or better yet, invite her on my show. Within days, the video was everywhere, memed, remixed, posted to justice forums. Karen's sprinkler spin went viral. She went quiet. Her house lights dim, driveway empty. A week later, my fence arrived 10 feet high. Custom scrollwork, digital locks, a declaration. The era of uninvited brunches was over. Karen appeared scowling from the sidewalk, clutching her clipboard. "You can't just put up a fortress," she snapped. "Actually, I can. Code's clear, HOA guidelines updated. Filed the paperwork right after your little brunch. This is petty. It ruins the neighborhood's aesthetic. No, Karen, it just ruins your ability to steal my lawn." She filed a complaint. Inspector came, saw permits, diagrams, left grinning. Neighbors praised the fence, asked where I'd gotten it. Someone started a petition to limit HOA power. The next meeting, Karen sat alone, no clipboard, no backup. Meanwhile, I enjoyed my first true peace, no surprise parties, no random decorations, even deliveries were safe behind the gate. Karen tried a few last moves, photographing the fence, planting fake tulips on the sidewalk, launching a unity committee no one joined. The final blow came from the neighborhood, story after story at the next meeting about her overreach. She was voted out of all positions, banned from leadership. No argument, just silence. The street felt lighter. Kids played, neighbors talked. Even Tina toasted me at our first block party. To Ethan, the man who proved boundaries are beautiful, and sometimes the best cure for a Karen is a little water pressure and a lot of backbone. Everyone laughed. I just smiled because I hadn't won some war. I just kept my peace and maybe helped my neighbors remember how good it felt to have some too. So where do you stand on all this? Did I go too far, or was it about time someone pushed back? Let me know below. Because if you've ever had a Karen in your life, you know the line between community and chaos is thinner than you think.